light on, whatever.
Yeah, it's on.
Yep.
Mike, don't say anything.
All right.
Else. Okay.
So if anyone didn't get a pen, I brought a few more.
Oh, great. I'll take that.
Oh.
Thank you.
Industry pens.
Oh, they're like, oh,
Are they IDA pens?
These
They
are
are
IDA
IDA
pens. I think everybody wants them.
Here, I can bring more next time.
You're moving your
This is
coffee
better. I had a
cup.
baseball pen. It's better. I'm using my ID.
And these also came with pens, but we haven't had a chance to mess with them yet, and you got to set them up. So you'll have pens and cases.
They still
We
come
can
with
draw
pens?
on these?
I think we're live, so okay.
Are we ready?
Shall we?
Okay. All right, so this is the Ulster County Industrial Development Agency meeting June 17th, 2026. It is 9 a.m., 9:05 a.m. So I'd like to call this meeting to order. Can we please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you very much. We'll have a quick roll call. Michael Ham, present. Rachel Silverman.
Present.
Stephen Kelly.
Present.
Joseph Ferraro will be here momentarily. Trevor Kerwin.
Present.
Randall Leverett.
Present.
And Costiwell.
Here.
Thank you very much. Okay, the mission statement of the Ulster County Industrial Development Agency is to advance the job opportunities, general prosperity, and long-term economic vitality of Ulster County residents by targeting tax incentives, bonding, and other assistance to foster the creation and attraction of new business and the retention and expansion of existing business. In front of you on your brand new tablets, okay, because we care about the environment, okay? You will have the regular board minutes from May 20th. I ask that you review them. I'll accept the motion.
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Public comment on agenda items only? Nothing? Okay. No executive session is necessary?
I don't think so, Chair.
Thank you, council. The chair's report. So once again, we're having a lot of activity, a lot of policy updates. We're going through everything that comes to the office over there. Hillary has been very, very busy. On top of getting married, congratulations,
Yeah.
Hillary. I will not ruin the executive director's report with my boring report, and I'll hand it off to our executive director, Hillary Nichols.
Right. Thank you, Mike. So as Mike mentioned, I have not been in the office for the whole month. But we did still manage to kind of continue to move the needle on economic development. And starting off, wanted to let everyone know that all of our annual project fees and late fees that we sent out have all been paid. So we're happy to see that we are officially wrapped up with any outstanding items from our 2025 annual report.
Excellent.
And then our next piece of good news is in front of you. You have a flyer, but we have a lunch and learn coming up on June 23rd. It's going to be at the BOCES in Kingston. We have had a really robust RSVP response rate so far, given that I only sent this out in one email blast. We already had 45 people register as of yesterday, and I got 3 more registrations this morning when I opened my email. So we anticipate having a really robust response. Additionally, we will have our regional representative there from New York State's Empire State Development to talk about the CFA. We will have the County Director of Tourism on hand, and hopefully we will have someone from Economic Development there as well. Waiting to hear from them. And so we're hoping that this is a great opportunity to share the work that we do and move forward our mission. So please, if you're available, we'd love to have you, or feel free to share with anyone who you think may benefit. Because we're having it at BOCES after school has ended, the school year, they have a lot of flexibility, so there's really no cap on how many people. So feel free to continue to help us get people to that event. So kind of speaking of events and our mission, the next update is that the planning for our 50th anniversary is moving along really well. Right now, Ian and I are working on making kind of a video compilation to show at the event. So we're really thrilled about that. That so far is scheduled for August 5th at Innis, you know, highlighting some of the work of the recent work of the IDA. And so
Yeah, true. Even on that one.
if anyone's interested in potentially being in the video on the board, please let us know. Be happy to take some stills or videos. We anticipate that being a fun evening. Wanted to move to just some recent administrative updates that's just been going on over the last few months that we've kind of just gotten checked off. So our merch is in, our cool pens. We've got our first sign ordered. Everyone will have their tablets in front of you. I think our next steps on that is just to get cases for them. So, you know, if anyone has any questions, we just got them all in yesterday. So please let us know if you're having any issue with your tablet or a function, but we're hoping to kind of work on those get them fully operational between now and next month. Moving over to projects, we are continuing to have regular conversations with potential applicants, and we most likely are looking forward to seeing a few new projects before the end of the year. So happy to report that. And then the last thing I just want to touch on while everyone's here is just going back to logistics for a moment. Just let everyone know I will not be in attendance for the August meeting. It's out of my control, but I've spoken to the chair about that, and I think we just wanted to give a quick update and see where the board is at.
So I spoke with Hillary on this, and I said, depending on what the agenda looks like for the August meeting, maybe we'll dispense with the August meeting and move into a September meeting and then cover our bases. Right now, as Hillary just alluded to, we probably will have a couple applications coming in after that. So, you know,
So
everybody's been doing a lot of hard work here and a lot of conversations been going on. So a nice little break in August wouldn't be a bad thing either.
however, if there's pressing,
Yes.
you know, business before the board, we may look at moving August to the week before or the week after. So just kind of keep an eye on
Yeah.
emails about what's happening with August. So
It is August.
Hmm?
It is August, so.
yes, so and you know
Summer.
it's
A
summer.
lot of our ideas
Yeah.
bypass the August meeting.
They are.
That's kind of-
Yes.
I think costumes also in this country during August.
I am in the country. Thank you, though.
It's the day
you.
I have to drop my daughter off at college, so I can't
Oh,
move the day,
congratulations.
and I think she would be heartbroken if I wasn't there.
Congratulations.
So.
That is,
Because a day
you'll be
without
exactly where you need to be.
a
That's
day
right.
without driving away crying is like a day lost.
Oh
So,
God, I'm
you know,
getting
good for you.
start
Where's
crying
college?
thinking about it. She's going to Plattsburgh, so yeah. So anyway, unfortunately, it's just I can't call the school and be like, hey, can we move this day to Thursday?
She knows it's gonna be colder up there, right?
Yeah.
Not much snow, but free.
Yeah.
That's
So
what you should
anyway,
start with.
So that's just what our summer is kind of shaping up to look like. So please just, you know, if you guys thank you for your flexibility and just keep an eye on emails for that, and we'll let you know as we get closer what that's going to shape out like. And that is it for my report, but happy to answer any questions. All right.
No questions. Okay. Let's roll into committee reports. Steve, audit?
The report follows, it's the Loki Brewer report follows the minutes. I didn't see anything that was, I can't even find it now.
Sorry, page 9.
Page
in the
nine.
wrong
Page
thing.
9.
There you go. That's the last. There you go. Might be it,
I'm
yeah.
getting used to this. Old fashioned.
Here.
I didn't see anything that was out of. I mean, we can look at it, but
Yeah,
there's really no. It's unremarkable, this one.
Yeah. Just so you know, they do have a temporary occupancy certification. They anticipate opening soon. I think as you'll see, some of the out of area is probably like the Swim King, which we do have a local Swim King, but remember, we look at where the workers live,
Mhm.
not necessarily where the business is located. So I think as they're just buttoning up some of their last minute things is why we're seeing a few more out of area than normal. But again, because their overall is still above the 75% and they're anticipating opening soon, we anticipate that they'll close their construction meeting that 75% of local labor requirement. So,
Yeah, there aren't a lot of people
No.
there
yeah.
now. I mean, you see a truck for electricity
Yep.
or whatever,
Yeah,
but most of
so-
the construction stuff.
Yeah, and they have that temporary occupancy that's just kind of got a punch list of a few things, but I would anticipate that that's not major construction. Those
What's
items.
their opening
Last time
anticipated?
I spoke with Jesse, they were looking at July 1st. And if
Okay.
you're on the internet, I see ads for them opening. They've got their website up, they're taking reservations. So, again, once they have a grand opening ribbon cutting scheduled, we'll be sure to include you guys on that.
So 3 of them don't have any local labor.
So yeah, so 3 of the contractors had the, the non-local labor, which is the John David Construction, and I had spoken about that to them. I think they're actually out of state, because I remember we were working with them to make sure they had a,
One was, I think I saw a Connecticut truck
You know-
there, and then there was a,
Maybe in the future, we may want to recommend to Loki Brill that when you have a zero report, maybe we get a little more clarity on that,
That's a good
okay?
idea.
Yeah.
Only because we'll play the guessing game, who
Yeah.
is John Jacobson, Jingleheimer
Okay.
Schmidt
For
Construction,
example,
whatever.
like
Would-
Swim King, right?
yeah,
They have an office here.
yeah.
So I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, where, I'm just gonna use example, one of these other ones could be out of, let's just say Jersey, but hiring guys that live in New
Locally.
Paltz.
Yeah.
It's a non-local business hiring local labor, so we're looking at the actual ID of the laborers,
Yeah, even
Uh,
even if it's not printed in the report, as long as you have,
know where they're from.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, we can always ask for more information on
Okay.
the info of the out of area people.
Okay, is that it? All right. Finance, Rachel?
Thank you, Chair. So we have updated CD rates, which we're going to share, and then a thought about constantly updating our CD
Yeah.
rates.
So, last month, the board approved moving our CDs into a 30-day, which I think was prudent for last month because some of the quotes that we got have gone up. So, just having that 30-day, I think is now puts us in a position to get not a really high rate, but a little bit higher than what we were getting. However, I think just following the news, I'm not seeing anything that indicates we'll be looking at any significant, rate hikes soon. So we may want to look at, just for the administrative work of, remember, every time our CD terms out, it doesn't roll over, it goes to cash, and we have to actually open a new account, which requires getting Mike and docu-signing documents. And so it's a little bit administratively of a heavy lift. So we were hoping to get a little bit of a longer term CD, and I have those quotes. So M&T
Why do
came,
we have to discuss this at all? Why don't you just take care of it?
Well, that was sort of the next point we wanted to bring up, because
Yeah. Go ahead.
we would have to bring it to the board. However, I was hoping we could perhaps get I don't know if we need a motion for whatever, but if we're not making a significant change in the value of the CD, can we, because we have to come back to the board and then by then the rates have changed and we kind of
Yeah,
end
the
up
whole
in this
thing is
cycle,
silly.
can there be a range of what we've approved that we can keep investing in without coming back to the board? I don't know if I said that clearly.
So
I
a
mean, it's an
range of-
administrative item.
yeah, but
Yeah.
the range of, when you say range is the CD rate or the amount
Yes.
of money
It
that
could
you're
be
putting?
both.
I
It could
think
be
I mean both.
15% or so.
Exactly.
I think the money, depending on, the increase in money or whatever we're gonna do, like, 400,000, 200,000. I think that still always has to come back here
Right.
first.
But if we're just
always,
rolling
on
over
appropriations.
a
Well,
CD
That
that
would be
Yeah,
the
if
term
it's
is
rolling
ended,
over, just put it in
and
whatever's
the,
the best
and
thing.
the,
Yeah,
and
it's
We
time
the,
have
consuming.
judge, we pay somebody to exercise judgment.
Yeah.
So
We
the
have
only
to-
thing I will note is sometimes if you know, the comptroller puts out a weekly newsletter and I will read through those and they'll kind of go through some of the audits that they do. And one of the things that you'll note continuously is did the board kind of do their due diligence in ensuring that this money was properly invested? So I think that, you know, making sure that whatever we craft
So I'll
still
make a
meets that
suggestion.
threshold.
As Rachel is saying, perhaps we can say, because if it's non-material,
Yeah.
Yep.
we don't need to see it. If it's material and the threshold could be 10%, 15%,
You
whatever
have
the
a
board
materiality
decides.
Standard.
And it
Okay.
could be,
Number.
materiality could be defined by the dollar amount.
I like
Mhm.
it.
And you could also think about if the rates have significantly changed.
Yeah,
Uh,
makes
Those
sense.
two could be thresholds.
I like it.
okay.
I do
Yeah, I'd
too.
agree. Can we set like a acceptable range around
Yeah,
whatever
if-
the thing is and a dollar
Chris, do you have
figure?
something like on, that you could draft up on that?
Yeah,
Just,
Just do
just to
that, 'cause
protect.
this is,
We
we're
could
wasting a lot of
whip
time
up a
on
quick resolution.
That'd be
some
great.
rates that amount to almost
I
nothing.
agree. Accept it at the
Exactly.
next meeting.
This is-
Okay.
we're
Okay.
talking-
It's the same
we're wasting
amount.
Yeah,
our
yeah.
time.
So we're not,
Yeah,
so
in
if
the-
we're
in the
not
interim-
materially changing the amounts going into CD, which we wouldn't be because we're just rolling it over, we're not materially changing the duration of the CD. Give us this range, and the rates have not significantly changed. This should just be
Yeah.
a report we can share.
And
So-
it could also be simpler, actually, if it's not lower in rate, if it's higher, we don't even
Oh.
have to look at it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Just
Mhm.
give it
I
as
mean,
an
the
If
only
it's not
time I
adverse
think it needs to
change, then
come
it's
back
okay.
is if you need money.
Correct.
Yeah,
Right.
money or,
Or you're gonna,
money
you
or it's
know,
tanking.
Yes.
you decide that, hey,
But their CD.
we need
It's a CD, it's not gonna
$200,000
attack.
out of
They're
the
Is what it
CD.
is.
So the
Then you come back.
example would be.
So I guess the talk right now is, right now we currently had a short-term 30-day. So we're gonna be looking, what do we want to move it into right now?
So we have a
How's that?
6
While we're
month
here.
and a 1 year that are both yielding just over 3%, which is, you know, more significant than what the shorter term ones are anyway. So
I'd do 6 months.
I think 6 months, and that'll give
Yeah.
us time to draft an update to the language, and those things.
Yep.
So we don't, because this is a lot of work to keep getting us here.
And this is,
Yeah.
look around the table, what's the
Yeah.
value of our time? I
Exactly.
mean, it's more than what we would be getting
Right.
for
Making
a
it-
quarter
And
of a
if you're,
percent.
I
Correct.
mean, and the other part to that is if you're talking to Rachel about it, she has a sense of
Yeah.
what's going, it's not
Yeah,
like you're
exactly.
arbitrarily doing this.
Mhm.
So if there's a red flag, she'll call Mike.
Yeah, and
And
then,
You should call
then
Mike
you
and
all
he
get
puts it on the
into it.
agenda.
yeah, and Mike is
exactly.
the signer anyway, so I'm not the one actually rolling these over. Mike is the signer for
Yeah,
these
so
accounts.
I mean, at the end,
so.
at the end of the
Mike and Joe.
day, you too should have the authority to make whatever decisions need to be made with respect to rolling over cash. The only time you need to bring it back here is if you all decide that we need $200,000, so we're gonna take 2 out of the 400, then you come back. But otherwise, if you're just rolling it
All right,
over,
then let's approve the 6 month for now,
Yeah.
if
All right.
that's what everybody wants to do. We'll
Yeah.
get Chris to draft the
Second.
resolution outlining all this that we're speaking about,
Okay.
and then moving ahead,
We'll
you
just
two
do as an
deal with
update
it
and work
and be
with.
Yeah,
done
we
with
got it.
No, I like
streamline
that.
it.
So
I
can we get a
appreciate it.
motion to approve the 6 month
moved.
CD?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Thank you.
All right.
Great, great, okay.
I mean, quick question. Is it possible to do, you know, say something like in this resolution that you're gonna do that you two will take care to get the best rate at, you know, for the best time, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it
just
gives
outline
them-
it a little bit
Yeah,
better.
so that it's like, you know, that's the
Optics.
due diligence, all of it. You will get the best rate and the best time frame for whatever CD we put it in, however you can word that.
I'm with you. I'm with you. So,
Okay.
but this really
But it's
relates
gonna be at the
to,
discretion
Correct.
of the executive director.
And
And
finance,
finance.
and finance,
Well, okay, fine.
The
Then we don't
finance
have to talk
chair.
about it here.
right.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
I agree with Steve. I think it should be, as long as it's not material.
Yeah.
The executive director should be able to just make that decision.
but is this really specifically related to just rolling over CDs? That's what we're talking about.
Investment.
That's what we're
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
about.
that's it.
Investments.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah,
else.
let's keep it,
We don't have any other investment.
okay?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
All right, great.
Oh.
Okay, into governance, costume.
Not much to report. just one or two updates, one being on the renewable energy, and Hillary can go a little bit into detail. We are going to, I believe, take a little longer to understand a few dynamics, mainly the escalator of 2%, which is mentioned in the language now, I believe page number 18, or no, sorry. Anyways, what it is,
26.
26. What
Yep.
it's about is basically what the pilot amount could be per megawatt unit, and what is the base minimum requirement of an escalator or a dollar amount. So we will need to catch up.
Okay.
And the reason for that, and I'll simplify it very quickly. So if you're looking at two different projects, one is solar and wind, let's assume, or just solar, and the other is storage. They fall under two different asset classes. So the question is, should the rates, the escalator or the pilot itself, should those be the same? Because they're two different asset classes. One requires more assets and more development from an assessment standpoint. So there's greater improvement perhaps, whereas the different one may not require the same things. So, and I believe there are certain discussions about it. We have had an internal, or not internal, an inbound call, which was on a no names basis or not, I don't know. It was a question raised by somebody, and I believe our council looked into it as well. So we might have to just look into a little more and decide at a later time.
Yeah, the only thing I would add is Shannon and I talked to one of my renewable energy partners in Buffalo. Now, you can take everything kind of with a grain of salt because he usually represents the developer on these transactions. But his take was it's usually 5 megawatts. That's kind of the bogey that they use for these battery storage projects. But because they're investing in the structure, right, the building and all that stuff, he's saying typically it's $1,000 to $1,500 per megawatt instead of 5,000. So that's
So there's
he's saying that there's a difference because of, instead of just slapping up solar panels, they actually have to build some brick in the ground and build
Hang on, so
something.
it's lower?
It's lower per megawatt, which was surprising to me. But again, this is all, he's only seen a few of them. He's done probably 2 so far. I guess I want to stress that this is all, I know we've talked about it for a few months.
Everything's one off, everything's
But
one off.
for us as lawyers, this is like brand new stuff because we have one project application for another idea for battery storage projects, but they've just held the public hearing. So they haven't said anything about that IDA's renewable energy numbers, which is 5,000 per megawatt. That's what they charge. So I guess what I'm saying is kind of with these, you kind of have to go through an application and an actual transaction usually to kind of figure out how it works. And then you tweak your policy, your UTEP based on, oh, this is how it actually works. It's harder to kind of come up with a policy that considers everything, every flavor of this, whatever you're trying to do a policy for, before you actually work on a project. That's kind of the,
But do you set the number that you set
Yeah.
in the policy? I mean, hypothetically, if you set it at $5,000, you can't go back.
can.
You can.
Well,
It may not look good.
And not a good
You
look.
could deviate from your policy and charge X amount, then you go through the
Yeah.
deviation procedure of
So
sending
I was
out
looking
notice
at
to
the
the
document
jurisdictions.
and
Yeah.
it says at least.
Yeah.
So now the question is not about the dollar amount. So if anybody has questions, we can answer, but otherwise I'll just go forward. I don't think at this time we're really concerned only about the money. I think we do need to think about two things. One is, what are the two asset classes? And the second is, how should we treat them? I think that's the first question. The second question is dependent on the board, first the governance, if we may, but then the board to decide how we think that is incentivizing or is punitive.
Yeah.
So I think the dollar amount is secondary. It's really about, do we want to classify that as two different asset classes or not?
I think that's fair. The other thing I would add is my partner told me, or told Shannon rather, that they're hearing that Westchester County ID for battery storage projects, and again, I haven't verified this, I haven't gone on their site. They're providing a sales tax exemption and a mortgage tax exemption, but they're not providing a pilot through the ID for these specific types of
Okay.
projects. So that's just, just
Food
an
for
idea.
thought.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
Me either.
Yeah. Well, we could.
Well,
we
it
could be-
depends.
We could have a pilot, then all of them would come here.
Well, he's right. See, it might be a little bit facetious, but he's right. The thing is,
Yeah.
we have to understand what we need to do to bring in the economics, right?
Yeah.
So the development part has to be hinged kind of on our policy of how we treat those two different assets or three, I don't know, because that's not the end of it.
Right,
Because there are more different things coming,
right.
Yeah.
and not to say, but including nuclear.
You're gonna see nuclear too.
Yes, you will.
Small
So
nuclear.
without,
Yes,
let's not
you
get
will.
too far into the weeds without
Sorry.
moving, dragging this one down the road. You guys will get together.
Yes.
Let's have more of the discussion on this.
Yep.
Get with the ED, we'll all loop in, we'll get this policy. We want to make sure we have it right before we come back. Time is our friend. Okay, we have time.
And to
Okay,
Chair's
we don't have, we have no applications on
None.
We don't
renewables
have
in
any
front of
application
this
right now.
board at all, or no one has called us on it. So
So that's why
we're just
we,
working to head to get out in
Yeah,
front of
right.
it.
And to Chair's
Okay.
point, and I think you will agree that it'll be prudent that we make a decision and not change it again and again several
Yeah,
times.
we can't do that. I don't
So-
think it's a good
I
idea.
understand. I guess I'm just saying sometimes, unfortunately,
Oh, yeah, no.
these are
Yeah.
organic documents that
Yep.
have to be revised based on
Okay.
trends, et cetera. But I agree, you don't want to do it over and over and over again. I agree.
Are they looking at it, when they say 5 megawatts, are they looking at, solar and wind, I get batteries a little different? Are they looking at faceplate capacity, wherever
That's what
as
I was
the-
told. Was
Okay.
the capacity was
yeah.
still the metric.
So that's, I won't belabor it, but it's, for a battery, depending on how you're using it, that's the maximum capacity,
Yeah.
but it may actually only do some smaller amount because that's what the grid wants.
Yeah.
I'll
That's
boil
right.
it down to basic, so,
and we've
so what's it
gotten
worth?
some
You
of
know?
those questions,
Yeah.
exactly what Trevor, and I think that while it's not really a question I could answer, the way that the very specific language in our policy doesn't have any room for the nuance between asset classes or how the energy that this project may be used,
Right.
stored, produced. And so this is where we wanted to go through and really make sure that the actual intention of the language could serve a variety of different projects that may be using energy differently.
So perhaps we can meet as governance
Yeah,
committee and
yeah.
include
Yeah.
task
Yeah.
force
Yeah.
I
and
love
hash it
that.
out there.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And I would encourage the public to, write whatever they need to write, comments, concerns,
Yeah.
questions, and get them over to us. And this is, I think this is the way to handle this. We'll get input from everybody coming in, you guys are doing a great job on this. And once again, we're trying to get out in front of this. So, okay. All right. Anything else, Costume?
No, sir.
All
Thank you.
good?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Old business, Chris?
Thank you, Chair. Page 12, transaction list. As you will see, we have quite a lot on the docket. We would really like to close some of these. I know Shannon's reached out to a few of the applicants. We'll continue to do so to help push this forward. On page 15 rather, is the pending enforcement list. We talked about, and there are drafts of this on my desk from my new associate, about sending letters to where this project applicants that in the past have been a little bit delinquent in getting their information to the IDA in terms of their job
Mhm.
numbers, annual reports. So once those drafts are looked at by me, I will send Hillary those to take a look at.
I've seen them.
You've seen them already.
I have, yes. Sorry.
Great.
So yes, I've seen